What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes us stronger.
Hi everybody, I'm Allison and this is Kicking Cancer to the Curb. We are here today with Dave Green, who is Debbie Fink Green's husband, and I've never actually been able to talk to a husband yet, so thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome.
10 weeks after you and Debbie got married, you found out that she was diagnosed with cancer. What did that feel like?
It was like a kick in the stomach.
Yeah.
It was, our happily ever after was suddenly transformed into something completely different. And it was definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to face in my life, for sure.
Yeah. I can imagine. You're thinking, what? This was not the plan? We all have our plan. And you're like, we just got married!
This was not the plan, but plans change and you
Adapt.
You adapt.
You modify.
And,
you
yes.
overcome.
Yes, that's what we did. That's what we've been doing every day, really. What I've learned is that you can't plan for your life, you can only prepare for it. And just take what comes at you one day at a time. And as cliche as that sounds,
No, it's true.
It's true because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, so you have to enjoy today. That's what we try and do.
I remember hearing when I was watching all of my spiritual leaders, they said you have to accept the dream that you are living, not the dream that you intended for yourself.
That's
because
true.
It changes.
Yep, absolutely.
And you have to go with that if you're going to find any peace in your life.
Absolutely. I think that I think I said it to you in an email that we've got a lot of blind corners to go around.
Yeah, I love that. Blind corners. I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But we're really all going around blind
We are.
corners.
We are. Every one of us every single day is going through a blind,
It's just
going
more
around.
brighter for us, you know,
Yes.
because we have this
Yeah.
big sea over
Yes.
something.
Yes, but it's an adventure, and I try and keep
It's an adventure.
It's an adventure, and I try and keep it as adventurous as possible.
Well,
really.
what is your company called?
Mystery Trip LA.
Here you go. This is it.
I am living my
this is your
own
mystery trip.
I'm living my own mystery trip indeed. Every day. Yeah.
But what is that actually, since we're here?
Sure. Mystery Trip, it's an event planning company.
Okay.
Where I put people on a bus and for private parties and corporate events where for anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, we make 3 or 4 stops around town at some weird, cool, offbeat, underground places.
Yeah.
And the hook is that nobody knows where we're going till they get there.
Oh, I like that.
It's fun.
Sounds fun.
It's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I do corporate events. I've done stuff for Google, AOL, and a ton of other corporations, and a lot of private parties, and it's starting to pick up some steam, which is great.
Good. So if you want to go on a mystery tour, this
Yes.
is where to go.
Mystery Trip LA.
Mystery trip. I
Yeah.
love
And it's
it.
not just in LA either. I do them all over the country.
That's good. It's a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so how long have you guys been together? I mean, from the dating point till now? Approximately. He has to look to his wife. That is
4 years? 4 years? 5 years?
5.
5 years. We've been together 5 years. 5 years.
Great. There we go.
Well,
We
that's
needed
what-
Debbie to confirm that.
That's what she's for. It's
Yeah.
it's what
You
wives
have
are
your
for.
purpose now.
Yes. We've been together for 5 years, and it's been quite an adventure every day, for sure. It's never boring for one reason or another.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change
You
any-
wouldn't?
Nope. I tell her often that it's this isn't what I chose, but I wouldn't change it. I'm happy to be going through it with her.
Wow.
I'm happy to be going through it myself. I wouldn't change anything. Like I said, it's not what I planned or what I thought my life would be like, but I'm really happy to be going through it for her, with her, for me, for my kids. Set an example and really, as you know, it tests your mettle of who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm learning a lot about myself and a lot about life and a lot
Yeah.
and stuff that I can take on and pass on to my kids, really.
There's a lot of defining moments in cancer. A lot of defining moments.
Yes, there are. Yeah.
How do you feel about being a caretaker? Do you often get frustrated with that? Do you ever feel some resentment? I mean, it's okay if you do. I'd like to hear about that because there are a lot of caretakers out there.
Yeah, the role of a caretaker is really interesting, not talked about a lot, I think.
It's important too.
Yeah, it's an important role, and you know, certainly not as a martyr. But it's thankless, and I think that you have to be thankless a little bit. But you know, to what you said, do I get frustrated? Absolutely. Yeah. It's frustrating for a number of reasons, not just well, there's nothing I can do. Well, let me say it this way: I can't fix it for her.
Right.
All I can do is be supportive of her and for her.
Right.
I get frustrated when I don't feel she's reacting in a way that I think
that
would
you
be,
want her to.
right,
or, yeah.
right. And that's one of the things I've learned to accept is that I can't I can't control her. I can only control how I react to a situation. I can't control a situation. I can only react how I control. Let me start over. I can't control a situation. I can only control how I react to that situation, and that's something that is I kind of during her surgery is really when I kind of came to peace with that. That I've got to let the river take me down where it takes me, and be as supportive as I can. And it's there are really hard days, and we've had really hard days, and we've had great days.
Yeah.
But a caregiver is, and I write about that on my blog also.
Yeah, you have a great blog.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good writing.
Thank you.
It's funny.
Thank you.
I mean, not that, well, sometimes cancer is kind of funny.
Cancer can be
It
hilarious.
It's
Hilarious.
When you wrote about her looking for the baby on Craigslist, I was like, oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah. It wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now.
No, it's funny now. Yeah, I get it.
Funny, right? Right. Time makes everything a little funnier. So it's but that's the way I try and live my life, with humor and trying and as a caregiver, and we make jokes and that's what I see as my role.
And it's not only helping out during surgeries, but it's all the bills, the medical bills, the appointments, the medication. I mean, it's a lot. I saw a file on me that Brian did, my husband. It was like this big, and I was like, "Oh, is that all about me?" It's like, yeah, this is like everything.
It's a permanent record.
Yeah, like this is all your cancer stuff, and I'm like, wow. When you're ill like that, I don't know how people do it alone. I really don't.
It's to me, it's unbelievable. It's
that anybody can do it by themselves.
Can do it by themselves. That people that don't have support or have spouses that aren't supportive.
And there are lots of those, actually.
Yeah, and
sadly.
I understand that in a way that I can understand how somebody, talking about resentment, that if you can't get to the other side of it, to say, to accept that this is the way it is and that you don't have control, like that's where the resentment comes from.
Right.
And it's releasing that kind of, and it is, you get this stack like that. And or seeing, the way Brian saw you in the hospital with tubes and this and that, it's, you're going, this is, what is that? It's weird. And, like we said, it's not what you expect, but you have to kind of just roll with it.
Well, I wouldn't say there's most caretakers aren't like that. Some caretakers, and I think it's also because they can't even deal with the enormous topic or the thing,
the gravity of
the gravity of it. I think, and then they just like kind of separate, and then you can't go through cancer alone. It's too difficult.
And that's something Debbie's family, friends, my friends, strangers, it's so humbling and so appreciative to see what people do.
Yeah, no, that's what I said to him when I was responding to you back. I'm like, it's the time where I have seen the most good in people. People have stepped out. So many random acts of kindness, and my faith in humanity just went to a whole other level that I didn't even know was there.
Yeah.
So
when I came back from, Debbie was still in Houston after her surgery. A day after I got home, there was a Tupperware full of cookies on my doorstep with no note. Just somebody left, you know, and it was like, wow, that's really cool. You know, I have friends who brought us dinners and stuff like that, but the cookies to me were really, it was really sweet.
And anonymous.
And anonymous, like just wanted me to be okay. Somebody looking out for me, which is cool.
Yeah, and everybody does look out for each other in this world, which is also really nice.
And it's important. It's important for. It's important going the other way also, not just to receive, but to give.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I liked it. That's why this
Mm.
feels good. Like this is good for you guys, but it's good for me too. It feels good to do this.
Yeah.
And it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
You can, you know, go and find out what somebody else is going through. Oh, I'm going through that too, and somehow, you know, it just makes it a little bit better.
Yeah. That you're not alone.
That you're not alone.
Right.
Yeah, and we're not alone. Unfortunately, there's so many.
Yeah.
So many of us. There's so many every week. I'm like the cancer to go person in my village. So everybody's like, oh, so and so has cancer, or my friend's mother, or my dad, or this. Like, yeah, every week I hear about something.
Yeah,
And so I've got lots of prayers.
Well,
What
very
about?
busy.
Yeah, very busy praying. The prognosis. What do you think about it?
That's a tough one. It's you know, you want to be positive. I want to be positive. I want to be have that Pollyanna kind of
Annoying attitude.
yeah.
That woman is so annoying.
Yeah, well, no, but it's important. You know, I'll tell you, after the first surgery, and we were so excited that it was gone and everything, and I really did hold out that hope that it was gone. She had high pec, and you know, this was it. We're moving on with our lives, and you know, I held my breath for months and months and months, just knowing it wasn't coming back. And when it did, it really kind of shook my foundation.
It's a perfect way of doing it. I say that myself, like when I found out my whole foundation, it was just like, it was a huge earthquake.
Yeah.
And I think everybody feels like that.
Yeah, it's like you don't expect it to come back. And now with this diagnosis, I'm trying to approach my life, my relationship with Debbie completely different, because if we're on limited time, I want to make the best of everything, make every day as good as possible for her, for me, for us, for the kids. Just you know, it's tough. It's tough, but you know, I hold out hope for, you know, to have as many good days as possible.
And years.
And years, yeah.
And what about, I mean, everybody should do that anyways, on a regular basis.
Everybody, regardless of...
Regardless, but often it is something major like this that makes you live your life like that, which is...
Appreciate.
Yeah,
And be grateful and have that
thankful.
gratitude. Yeah, it's important. And I think too many of us sleepwalk through life.
Yeah,
kind
take
of,
everything
and
for granted.
Take it for granted, and it's too easy to do that, and it's hard to focus on life every day and trying to make every day important and impactful.
Yeah.
And it's tiring sometimes, but
yeah,
you know, and it's okay to have a bad day, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to to, you know, just shut
or
the
to
world
have an
out.
argument,
Yeah.
or you have like rough spots in your
Yeah.
relationship because, you know, for me, Brian's like doing all the work and I can't do anything. I feel guilty. He's like exhausted, and you know, we didn't really have arguments, but you can feel
There's
the weight
a
of that
tension.
situation.
Yeah, and it's not. It's like when you have a kid. It's like you're not mad at each other, but you're on each other.
Yeah.
And it's because of external forces has changed the dynamic of what you created.
Yes, that's very well put.
Thank you.
Okay, so advice for caregivers. It's a small question. I only ask small questions. I hope you noticed that.
Right.
What do you think about death, dying, cancer, caretaking?
Caregivers.
All the good stuff.
You know, I can't. The best thing I can say to caregivers is, you're not alone. You need to find your support. You need to find your strength, and need to find your outlet. Really, you can't go at this alone.
Yeah.
Whether it's your family, friends, find a good group of people that you trust and can support you.
Yeah.
And really lean on them, and
Yes.
don't be embarrassed or feel weird about it,
Yeah.
because everybody needs that at some point in their life. And
Yes.
it just so happens mine is a lot sooner than most people's, and Brian's, and other caregivers. But it's, find people. I'll look right at you and say, find people that are like you, and that are going through the same thing, whether it's a support group or, like I said, just friends, and somebody that can just listen sometimes. And the best part about being a caregiver is you get taken out to a lot of good meals.
There you go. There's always a silver lining.
Always a silver lining. Get fed well. Yeah.
And another thing, people want to help. People want to help.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, people want to help, but they don't know how to sometimes.
Yeah, so you can tell them.
Yeah, and it's really, people want to do something, and they don't, and sometimes they'll do the not the wrong thing, because nothing's wrong, but like something that doesn't jive well, I guess.
Right.
And people always have the best intentions.
Yeah.
And I think you just have to be appreciative of what people can give.
Right.
Whatever that is, with and not expect anything, and be thankful for anything that somebody can offer, whether it's a piece of advice or a dinner or taking you out,
taking the kids on a play date so you guys can have time together, or what? Yeah. Well, I definitely feel that you were the chosen one for Debbie.
Well, I agree.
I hope you like that title.
No,
I do. I really do.
That's what I mean. Like I'm so, I wouldn't change this. That's what I mean. Like we found each other. It was so happenstance how we found each other.
Tell us real quick, and then we'll finish on that.
We went to overnight camp together as kids.
Such a sweet story.
And we didn't really know each other, but we officially met at a reunion at camp.
What's the camp called?
Camp Saginaw.
Saginaw.
Saginaw. It's outside of Philadelphia. And we met at a reunion, and after the reunion, everybody kind of just friended up on Facebook, and we stayed in touch. And after I got divorced, we started chatting, and it just blossomed into something, and it was great. And like I said, I wouldn't change it. I'm honored to go through it with her, and I'm happy to be able to be on this journey. It's not something I would have chosen, but I am, I embrace it, and trying to live as good of a life as we can together.
You're awesome.
Oh,
this guy's awesome.
go
No,
on.
I know you're awesome. I'm so happy
Yeah.
that she has somebody like you by your side, because
Yeah.
it's not always like that. And having your cheerleader, like your immediate cheerleader, and then you have your team.
Yeah.
It's so great. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
I
And-
feel like she's in good hands.
There's one other thing I wanted to
Yeah,
mention
please.
about caregivers, is that it's not just about friends and people taking care of you. It's about taking care of yourself also.
Yeah.
And whether
Physically and mentally.
physically, mentally,
Emotionally, yeah.
emotionally, and it's really important. I don't do it enough, but running helps clear my mind.
Good.
And
Good.
going to listen to music, and one of the things actually that you'll appreciate is softball. There's nothing, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, that one of my favorite times of the week is softball. And being on the field with the girls, because that's all I think about. I don't think about anything except being on the field with the girls. And it's such an escape for me.
It's great.
And
That's great.
And I put so much into it, and it makes me happy to be able
So
to
wonderful.
give and not think about what's going on in other parts of my life.
That's great. And the girls love Coach Dave. And I love him too. He's really good at that field thingy. He makes the field look all dragging the field. I had on flip flops one day in a dress, and I'm like, "Do you want help?" Hoping he would say no. And he did. Thank you. He said, "No, it's okay. You look nice." So, Caregivers of America, if you have any questions or you just need a fellow caregiver to talk to, where can they find you?
You can find me, easiest place is on Facebook. If you search for Mystery Trip LA, you'll find me there. My email address also is dave@mysterytripla.com. mysterytripla.com.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We're gonna rise like the phoenix, and yeah, we're gonna beat this. Too much life to live to leave this. It's got me singing. Sure, we had some bad days, can't fix them with no band-aids, but I'm breathing, feel my heart rate. It's got me singing. So throw up your lighters, we'll raise a glass to the fighters. Our light ain't burning out, it's going strong. To our kick that cancer song. So throw up your lighters for the 12 round survivors. Our light ain't burning out, it's going strong. To our kick that cancer song. We're the #1 contenders. Bring it on with no pretenders. Yeah, we'll never say surrender. And we're singing. We'll be standing after these walls, watching the sunrise after these storms. We'll be young again and reborn and running. So throw up your lighters, we'll raise a glass to the fighters. Our light ain't burning out, it's going strong. To our kick that cancer song. So throw up your lighters for the 12 round survivors. Our light ain't burning out, it's going strong. To our kick that cancer song. We're hanging pictures in the hallways, remind us that we're always who we are. Seeing our faces in the mirror, it all becomes clearer who we are. We're fighters, survivors. Yeah, that's who we are. We're fighters, survivors. And that's who we are. So throw up your lighters, we'll raise a glass to the fighters. Our light ain't burning out, it's going strong. To our kick that cancer song. So throw up your lighters for the 12 round survivors. Our light ain't burning out, it's going strong. To our kick that cancer song. We're fighters, survivors. Yeah, that's who we are. We're fighters, survivors.